Let's talk about the video I watched yesterday on the MAHA movement. And I'm bringing it up because it made me think about the part of the Constitution people forget about, the Preamble. The Preamble lists several purposes for our government, and one of them is to promote the general welfare, and I want you to really sit with what that means in real life. It means our leaders are supposed to protect the conditions that let regular people thrive. Honest standards, clean systems, transparent rules, so you can pursue happiness without getting tricked, poisoned, or financially drained by a rigged game. That's why this Maha video grabbed me, because it argues something that hits like a punch. We don't have a healthcare system that's failing. We have a medical industry that's succeeding at turning chronic illness into a business model. Now let me make this personal, because I know a lot of you feel this in your bones. When I was a child, hearing the word cancer was rare. It was something you heard about every now and then. Today, I would challenge anyone watching this to tell me you don't know someone who's had cancer. I do. My sister died from cancer. My brother had cancer, and a number of my former colleagues died of cancer too. So I'm not asking this like it's a talking point. I'm asking it like a citizen and like a human being. Why? What changed? That's what this video explores. Receipt number 1. The video argues that agencies like the FDA and CDC have become sock puppets for the industries they regulate. And you don't have to agree with every word to understand the point. If the referee is funded by the teams, you don't have a fair game. If the people who are supposed to protect our families are financially tied to the industries they're supposed to police, then promote the general welfare turns into protect the profits. And the video argues the healthcare industry spends massive money lobbying more than other industries, so the rules keep bending in one direction. It also argues pharma ad spending doesn't just sell drugs, it shapes the news. So if you've ever wondered why certain stories get treated like they're untouchable, or why honest questions get labeled misinformation before they're even answered, this series argues you should follow the money. Receipt number 2, it argues our food isn't just food anymore. It argues our food supply is loaded with chemicals, many petroleum-based, and that the US system allows far more additives than Europe. And it points to a comparison that should make every parent pause. Around 10,000 chemicals allowed in US food versus around 400 in the European Union. It also argues our system uses something called GRA, generally recognized as safe, where manufacturers can essentially self-police. Translation in plain English: innocent until proven guilty, with our kids as the test subjects. And then there's the bliss point. The video argues companies hire craving experts to engineer the perfect combination of salt, sugar, fat, and mouthfeel to light up the brain's reward center. So if you've ever felt like certain foods don't just taste good, they pull you back in even when you don't want them, this video argues that isn't an accident. It's design. Receipt number 3. And this is the part that makes my stomach turn. It argues our kids are becoming a pipeline. The video argues there's a wave of psychiatric labeling and over-medication kids as young as 4 and 5, sometimes on multiple drugs at once. It argues emotional signals that should be telling a child something's wrong are being suppressed with pharmaceutical approaches, instead of asking what in the environment is causing the distress. It also brings up Study 329, related to Paxil, arguing the data showed increased suicidal ideation in children, but the public narrative didn't match the risk. And it argues it took years before the FDA put a black box warning on antidepressants for suicide risk. Whether you agree with every detail or not, here's the moral question I want you to think about. If the system gets it wrong, who pays the price? Not the corporations, not the lobbyists, not the politicians. Families do, our kids do. And this is where politics matters, because I'm going to say something that makes people mad. When Trump supporters say drain the swamp, this is what we mean. Not a vibe, not a slogan, a structure. A structure where regulators rotate into industry jobs, industry money shapes policy, and the public gets managed like a revenue stream. That's why I love it that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going after big pharma in the food system. Because the goal, whether you like the messenger or not, is simple: make the system serve the general welfare again. And if you're thinking, wait, why would any members of Congress fight that? Here's one answer that makes sense to me. Because some people in power have every incentive to protect the business model. If members of Congress can get rich by investing in the very companies they're supposed to regulate, then of course they'll stall reforms, bury hearings, and pretend you're crazy for noticing. So here's the debate question that actually matches what we're talking about. Do we want a country that promotes the general welfare, where our food is clean, our science is honest, and our regulators work for the public? Or do we want a country where captured agencies and conflicted politicians protect the profit machine, while families bury their loved ones and get told it's just bad luck? Because I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like bad luck when it's everywhere. And that's why you should watch this video series for yourself. The videos are available free, so click the link and watch them now at mahamovie.com. The producer is making them available free for a limited window, so don't wait. Watch it while it's free, and then come back here and tell me what you think. And when you're done, I want you to answer this one question in the comments. What changed in our country that cancer went from something we heard about occasionally to something almost every family has a story about?